Hey YouTube, I got an inbox off someone asking me to do a video, just a short video about dietary advice for when you're neutropenic. So when you have no immune system and you can't fight off bacteria and stuff, you've got to be careful what you eat, but you've also got to watch what you eat to keep your weight up as well. So there's you don't want to get like bacteria in your food because you could be prone to blood poisoning. But you also need to keep up your weight. So I wrote down a list of what you can avoid and what you can have instead, and also things that I had when I was poorly in hospital with leukemia, and what I tried to eat to keep my weight up. I wrote down not to try and avoid like raw or lightly cooked like fish and stuff, because obviously that could carry bacteria that normally a person with a good immune system will be able to just get rid of bacteria and stuff like that. But with people who are neutropenic, it's harder to do that, and it could make you even more like poorly. Um, Things like soft cheeses, like soft ripened cheeses, like brie and goat's cheese. Um, don't I was told not to have things like that because of what might be in there. Things like raw and undercooked meat. I've put chicken or fish, which I already said. Smoked items such as smoked salmon and parma ham. Although I did have some smoked salmon when I was in hospital because it was fine. Though I was okay. Um, but that is just what people advise you to not like have. But obviously, I like it, and I missed it, so I had some, and it was all okay. Um, Raw eggs or undercooked eggs, so things like homemade mayonnaise and stuff like that. Try and avoid stuff like that. If you make sure that the eggs are cooked well and stuff, obviously you can have it. But things like probiotic yogurts and live or bio products, so probiotic yogurts containing supplements and drinks. So don't little drinking yogurts. Don't have those because they've got obviously for like other people it'd be good bacteria that's in them, but for us, like people who have been neutropenic and who still are, that you won't be able to the bacteria, it'll make you think it's something else and it'll make you even worse. So don't do that, you could come seriously ill from that. Things like pate, people don't have pate because of the stuff that's in them that could easily be bacteria. Things like unpasteurized cheese and milk sold on local farms. Actually, I didn't have a lot of milk when I was in hospital, apart from when I had bad ulcers. But milk is okay, but make sure it's a brand that you know where it's from, and not a good brand. I've put alternatives to all of that, like things like processed cheese, like Dairy, Philadelphia. I had those cheeses because the soft cheeses, they didn't hurt to swallow. Um, they tasted nice, and I had them instead of other types of cheese. So I always had Dairy triangles and stuff. Cheese is good though, because the soft cheese when you're poorly and have sore throat. Um, Things like well cooked meat, and it's obviously the opposite, well cooked meat and fish and stuff like that. Um, I've put tinned meat and fish because it's obviously a good packaging thing, like in the tin. You're not gonna get a lot tampered with or anything like that. I've put hard boiled eggs and mayonnaise that you buy from a shop, like Hellman's mayonnaise, instead of making your own. I've wrote ice cream because ice cream is a dairy product. It it's nice, it tastes nice, and also it's cold and it's soft for your throat. So if you have a sore throat, then it'll be good to have ice cream. I had a lot of ice cream when I was in hospital. Things like fruit yogurts and thick and creamy Greek yogurts, things like fromage fraise and stuff like that, because the dairy, the milk in it and stuff, it'll keep your weight up and it'll fill you up for longer as well. And they taste nice and they're soft, so that's a good thing to have. Things like pate in tins or jars. I've wrote they don't need to be refrigerated. Them type of pates. Things like soya milk. I don't like soya milk, but that's just an idea. things like that. Also, I've wrote what else I had, and they were things like hospital food. They do like jacket potatoes and stuff like that. So jacket potatoes are a good thing to have because they're soft and cheeky, and they fill you up, because they've got carbohydrates in them, and cheese and crackers. If you've got a sore throat, obviously you probably leave the crackers and just eat the cheese. Things like baked beans on toast, because if the toast is too like hard, have baked beans, like a bowl of baked beans. I've put fried rice because I didn't have spicy curries because obviously that may have hurt. But I had just like mild curries with rice and sometimes just bowls of chicken fried rice. Things like cereal, breakfast cereals, because you can have that at any time during the day. Put milk on it, and it'll fill you up for longer. Because you don't just want to have that at breakfast and don't want anything else during the day. If you want to have cereals more than once a day, obviously have them more than once because you've got the milk in it, and you do need to keep your weight up, and you do need to be feeling full. If you're not feeling full, chances are you're going to feel sick, because when you're hungry you sometimes feel sick, and to feel sick on top of everything else that you're going through is just not worth it. So eat as much as you can. I know sometimes it's hard, but I got told to eat, even if it really hurt, because I know that it will make me feel better. It will make me better. It's good for me. So you've got eating and a good diet when you're poorly in hospital is the most, like, it's needed. You need a good diet. I wrote things like crisps, but I like crisps, and I missed them when I couldn't eat them when my throat was really sore. So soft crisps like Quavers, Skips, they're good. They're good to have. French fries, but other ones you might not. You might want to skip them because obviously if they're salty and you've got like the lining coming off your throat, it will hurt. For sweet stuff, I've put chocolate or plain biscuits. But if you've gone off chocolate, which a lot of patients do, you can obviously go for the ones that are without chocolate. Things like cereal bars, soft cereal bars, and individual like desserts, like tinned fruit or ice cream, things like that. Rice pudding, that'll fill you up. That's good for you when you're poorly. I've already said thick and creamy yogurts like fromage fraise. Things like things like that are just a few ideas. Obviously, you can come up with ones for yourself, but they were ones that I had, and obviously I'm okay, and I really hope that you do like try your best with your diet and stuff because it's important. And even though you may not want to eat, you've got to eat to feel better. And things like soup is a great thing because it's just like having a drink, but it has everything in it that you need, like the vegetables and things like that, the vitamins. So I've already said tinned fruit, and I've also wrote down milkshakes. The hospital does milkshakes. They make milkshakes for like your diet and stuff to keep your weight up. But if you want, like, buy one that's ready made from the shop, because even though it's not got all the stuff the hospital put in it, it's still got the sugars, the fats, and that'll still be good for you. Fizzy drinks, you may go off fizzy drinks, but that's also good for you because of the sugar that's in it. It'll give you more energy. Fruit squashes and cordials, and milky drinks like hot chocolate and Horlicks. I always had hot chocolate. I loved hot chocolate and still do now, but because it's like milky and creamy and stuff, it's good to have because hot chocolates are quite fascinating really, but they're good for you if you're feeling down and you want it's nice, isn't it? And hot chocolate is actually different kind of to normal chocolate. So if you've gone off chocolate like I did, you might still want to drink hot chocolate because it's kind of different really. It's a drink, isn't it? So things like that. But yeah, as I already said, the hospital I wrote down gives you nutritional supplements. So things like energy drinks and like milkshakes and stuff. But yeah, there are just a few things, and obviously you can come up with ones for yourself. But I hope that helps a little bit if you were stuck on ideas, because they're just stuff that I had. So hope that helps. So I'm gonna go now. So bye bye.